Namaste. A very warm and a pleasant welcome to one and all present here. This is a Swayam Prabha course on musical references in Sanskrit literature. We have 12 modules. Today, we'll be dealing with the second module, which is the threads of the Vedas, exploring music in ancient Indian Sanskrit texts. So we will be going through different Vedas and the musical references in the Vedas. We have 4 Vedas, which is Rig, Yajus, Sama and Atharvana Veda. So we need to see what each and every Veda is going to tell on musical references, musical instruments and different references of music here and there. Let us all know what every Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka and Upanishad had to talk about music, musical references and musical instruments. We all know the word Veda comes from Vid, Vedane, Prapane, which means to get the eternal knowledge. Vedas are supposed to be the scriptures of eternal knowledge, the treasure trove of true knowledge. Then music is imbibed in the Vedas. Music is a part and parcel of Vedas. We recite Vedas in certain tune, in certain intonation, in a particular swara. So each and every swara has got some gati, some yati and laya. There is a pause, there is certain meter when we chant Vedas. So we'll be going through all these things in this module and let us explore different facets, the nuances of Vedas and the musical references in them. Music is nothing but the sounds, the rhythm itself. And Vedic chants never go forward without rhythm and swara. So music is a part of Veda naturally. So the Saptaswaras today we learn in classical music and also the Hindustani music that we learn today is directly rooted to Vedas, especially the Sama Veda, the Veda of melody, the Veda of chants, as we all know. We also know that the Saptaswaras are directly rooted to Sama Veda naturally. In this way, we can say that the great Apaurusheya Vedas are an integration of spirituality, knowledge and wisdom. So friends, let's all see what we have new in this module 2, which is musical references in Vedas. As an introductory note, music is an expression of human emotions. Music is a part and parcel of every human life. There is nothing where you don't find a sound, you don't find a rhythm, you don't find a chant. Man lives and works in such a framework that the fundamental values, Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram, the intellectual value, the aesthetic value, and the moral value is combined, intertwined, and integrated together. The constant iteration between these 3 results into an art form, a beautiful art form, in fact. Creativity evolves from this, and the medium of expression is, as always, the best art form, which is none other than music itself. So, music, dance, and several art forms were primary and are significant till date. Vedas, an encyclopedia as we see them. How do we say Vedas are encyclopedia? There's nothing that is not there in Vedas. If there's everything in Vedas, then obviously there's music in Veda. So there's a good amount of music references, musical instruments, musical components that are being discussed in different parts of Vedas. Vedas are nothing but the spiritual and philosophical teachings, and there are various aspects of Vedic society that is being described in these Vedas, including music and dance form, which are art forms in nature. Art forms were not just forms for entertainment, but it was a part of the society and societal meetings and the gatherings and for sacrificial rituals too. The study of Chaturdasha Vidyasthana, which is very, very important. What are these Chaturdasha Vidyasthanas? 14 Vidyasthanas that we call them. They are the 4 Vedas, the 6 Vedangas, Vatsyayana's Kama Sutra, Arthashastra of Kautilya, Manu's Dharma Shastra. All these epics, the scriptures, everything put together, they call it Chaturdasha Vidyasthanas. Each of these have a holistic understanding of the Indian art form, especially the music and dance in nature. Isn't it a wonder to find art forms as an integral part of holy great scriptures? Music in the Vedas, a panoramic view. Music in Vedas, as I've told you, is an integral part, an integral component, if I have to say. So the Rig Veda is the oldest Veda. The Rig Samhita is supposed to be the oldest Samhita, and it describes about different deities, about natural forces. It sings songs on cosmic elements. In Rig Veda hymns, one can find the Gandharva, which appears and which is referred to a class of celestial musicians associated with the divine dreams. Samaveda, known as the Veda of melodies, as I've told you before, is primarily concerned with the musical aspects of Vedic rituals, the sacrificial rituals, if we have to say. It consists of collection of melodies that is called as samans. The hymns of Samaveda is called as saman. And these are derived from Rigvedic verses. The Yajurveda, the second Veda, the third Veda, on the other hand, is more concerned with the procedural aspect of the rituals. So it focuses more on the rituals and the procedures and the sacrifices. The Rig and the Samaveda emphasizes more on music, whereas it does contain references of rhythmic retention, recitation, and the mantras for rituals. In Atharva Veda, the earth was described as a place where humans sing, dance, and live. So these are some of the references we get from different Vedas. Origin of music, which is directly rooted to Samaveda. Samaveda is attributed to be the base, the root cause of all the music that is existing today. So origin of Indian music is none other than the Samaveda itself. This has been considered as foremost among the four Vedas. As Lord Krishna himself says in the Bhagavad Gita, stating, Vedanam Samavedosmi, which means he himself, he attributes himself to be Samaveda. Hence, the Samaveda has got a superior status amongst all the other Vedas. According to Chandogya Upanishad, Sama has been derived from Sa and Amaha, which means Sa are called as riches and Amaha or Alap. Singing of riches with Alap is called as Sama. Therefore, singing of Vedic mantras with melody and rhythm is called as Samagana, that is, reciting Samavedic mantras. Now, let's see the classification of Samaveda. Samaveda can be divided as two. One is Archika Samhita, the other one is Gana Samhita. Archika Samhita is Purvarchika and the Uttararchika. Purvarchika has got one solo rik and Uttararchika has got three richa. So, this is the classification of Samaveda. Gana Samhita. Gana Samhita is nothing but the riches or the mantras was prominent in Purvarchika and Uttararchika of Archika Samhita. With an increase in religious sacrifices and rituals, we see a simultaneous rise in the melody and the second part of Samaveda, that is Uttararchika. Then Gana Samhita came into existence. What are these Gana Samhita? It is further divided into four, which is Gramageya Gana, Aranyageya Gana, Uha Gana, Uhya Gana. In Gramageya Gana, we find easier meter in Sanskrit language instead of difficult Vedic uses. In Aranyageya Gana, the chants are sung in wilderness with a wild flow. Only those who could decipher the meaning, the ultimate essence of Upanishads, used to sing Uha and Uhya, the last two classifications. Thus, we can consider Archika Samhita to be a part of literary aspect and Gana Samhita to be a melodic aspect. Swaras in Samagana. How are swaras classified? What Samaganas had to talk about swaras? Let's all know it now. Only three swaras were used at the beginning, that is Udatta, Anudatta and the Swarita. Udatta denoted high, Anudatta denoted low and Swarita denoted a medium flow. Now, the usage of Udatta, Anudatta, Swarita, Swaras gave rise to threefold structure of Samagana, which is Archika Gana, Ghatika Gana and Samika Gana. According to Taittiriya Pratishakya, From these three swaras, there came the origin of the evolution of Sapta swaras existed in Samaveda. They are Krushta, Prathama, Dvitiya, Tritiya, Chaturtha, Mandra, and Atishwarya. They are comparable to the Laukik swaras Ma, Ga, Ra, Sa, Dha, Ni, Pa, respectively. Now, we can see the same here. Swaras used in Samagana. The first one is Krushta, that is Makara. Prathama, the Laukika swara is Ga. Dvitiya, the Laukika swara is Ri. Tritiya, the Laukika swara is Sa. Chaturtha, the Laukika swara is Dha. Panch, Mandra, the Laukika swara is Ni. Atishwarya, the Laukika swara is Pa. Musical instruments during Vedic period. We all know there were different kinds of sounds that were produced during the rituals and sacrifices. How did it exist? There were different musical instruments played during Vedic period too. Let us explore what they are. 4 types of instruments were used during Vedic period. The first one is stringed instrument, wind instrument, leather instrument, and metallic instrument. There were 4 types of instruments further classified, such as Tata, Sushira, Avanadhya, and Ghana. This is second form of categorization of musical instruments further. So among the stringed instruments in Vedic period, Veena was very, very popular and considered to be very, very pious in nature. Banaveena was called as the Mahaveena and it consisted of 100 strings. Among the wind instruments, Tunava was very, very popular and Tunava is often used for flute. Dundubi and Bhumi Dundubi were specifically important in Vedic period. Dundubi was a type of a drum which was made by stretching leather over wood and was played using a stick. In metallic instruments, the name of Aghati finds an important place, which has also been considered as Apagatalika and Khandaveena according to few other viewpoints. Now let's see in detail about each and every Veda. There comes Rig Veda here. Rig Veda and Rig Veda Samhita are the oldest one, as I've repeated before. In the entire work, the last 2 parts deal with the systemization of music. 1/4 of the verses were devoted to Gayatri Mantra, which was described as in the Gayatri meter, the Gayatri Chandas. Vedic hymns were sung and pronounced in monotone, referred to as Archika period. In due course of time, 1 main tone and 2 ascents, one higher and the other lower, called Uddata and Anudatta, was produced respectively. This was done to accentuate the words since the text was of primary importance. This type of pronunciation later developed into Gana and Gatha. In due course of time, in order to balance the tonal aspects of these 2 notes, a supportive note referred to as Swarita was also developed. As I told you, high, low and medium. After the evolution of this note, the period was referred to as Samik period. Music and Samaveda. Let's see what Samaveda has in store. Samaveda plays a significant role in the world of music. Evolution of dance, several art forms. The concept of Margi and Desi system evolved from Samaveda. This distinction marks the earliest conscious differentiation between what would later be termed as classical music and popular forms of art and music. The Solfa system in Indian music, known as Sargam, is closely related to the ancient practice of Swara, musical notes, and Tala, the rhythmic patterns, in the Vedas, including the Samaveda. So, the roots of Solfa system is once again tracked back to the Vedic practices. Its evolution into a formalized system used in present-day Indian music, which underwent substantial development over a period of time. Yajurveda mainly deals with procedures and sacrificial rituals. This is also referred to as Karma Veda as there's more action into it. The entire text of Veda runs in prose in 2 or 3 verses, line of mantras, in 2 or 3 line of mantras, and mostly It is sung by the Adhvaryu, the priest of the period. These mantras explain the rituals of the humankind and adapt themselves to reach salvation. Even in prose, they contain certain musical tones. As I told you before, the gati, the yati, the laya, all these things are to be followed when you read a text, may it be prose or a poetry, especially in a number of cultural activities of that period concerned. Atharvana Veda is the last Veda and named after a great rishi called Atharvan. All the hymns in these Vedas are sung in a systematic manner with the help of a guru. Music used to be sung with a number of musical instruments in order to bring rhyme and rhythm in the cultural events of the Vedic period. A number of string, wind, percussion instruments were employed. Vedic samaganas had different scales of 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. The notes, though, are different from the Laukika notes. They led for the formation of music in the later periods. Vedic music. It was believed that waves of sound, considered as Shabda Brahma, stays hidden in the cosmic, in the sky. The Shabda originates from the sky, stays in the sky, and dissolves in the sky. So everything happens in the sky, which is also called as Shabda. The ancient poets had the power to realize and, feel the presence and the beauty of the natural forces at the cosmic level, and they get unified with themselves. And that was the level of penance that Vedic seers had once upon a time. As a result of this glorified boundless powers, sometimes in a form of stuti, sometimes in a prayer, sometimes in music, connecting tune or melody to the stuti. The Samagana creates a great impact not only in the field of Vedic literature, but also in the field of post-Vedic culture, so which is also called as Sangeeta in the later period. Vedic music. In Samagana, the mantras were connected with the melody and thus appeared as Samagana. So in Jaimini Sutras, it was said that Geetishu Samakhya. Commentator Acharya Sayana says, Giyamanasya Sama Ashraya Bhuta Richaha Samavede Samamnayante, which means gods were invited with the Rig mantras and gods were glorified with the mantras of Samaveda. These Sama mantras are known as the Stuti Gana or the Stotra. In Vedic literature, Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka, Upanishad, in Pratishakya, we find song was practiced according to the application of Abhyudayika and Abhicharika. Vedic song was associated with music and dance also during the Vedic period. Notations in Vedic chanting. Swara, that is a note. Mantra, the time measure, and the akshara, the sounds, are the three major aspects of Vedic chanting. These three components together make the notation. Notation determines the structure of any music. Swara, mantra, and akshara constitute the whole process of singing. The word swara was used only for vowel sounds, not for the musical notes. Musical notes are recognized as yama. Later, the chord yama was replaced with the word swara. Swara references in Vedas. The basic three swaras are Gandhara, Rishabha, and Shadja. This was an additional swara called Samika. Naradiya Siksha clearly gives a scale against successive numbers from Prathama to Sapta in all these swaras. This aspect is clearly mentioned in Naradiya Siksha, as you can see here. Yaha Samaganam Prathamaha, Yaha Venor Madhyama Swaraha, Yo Dvitiyaha Sangadharaha, Tritiyastu Vrishabasmritaha, Chaturthaha Shadjaha Ityahuhu, Panchamo Dhaivato Bhavet, Shashto Nishado Vigneyaha, Saptamaha Panchamaha Smritaha. These are the verses from Naradiya Siksha, which talks about swaras. Singing Samagita. Let's now know what are the singing components in the Samagana. In the process of singing Samagana, there were 6 changes called as Samavikaras happened. As you can see, Vikara, change in the letter of the text. Visleshana, division of words and their transformation. Vikarshana, specific stretching of a letter. Abhyasa, the practice. Virama, it's a short pause. Sthoba, additional exclamatory words. The method of singing Saman has become the ground for Laukika Gana, as we can see. So these are some of the vikaras in Samagana. Murchana in Samagana. What is Murchana? So before that, let's know what happens in Samagana exactly with regard to Murchana. So there are two swaras, which is Ma and Pa. Ma is Madhyamam and Pa is Panchama. Now, the establishment of Samagana begins with Ma and then descends with Pa. Ma, Ga, Ri, Sa, Ni, Da, Pa is the Murchana Krama. The 7 notes together, starting from a particular note, is called as Jati. If the Sangama starts from Ma, that will be the Ma scale. In the process, when singing continues to have each note as starting note, that particular note becomes the key note producing different scales. This particular scale is called as Raga. Jati in Samagana. There are 3 jatis in Samagana: Audava, Shadava, Sampurna. The 7 to Melakarta ragas, Janya Janaka raga system was found in these lines. Now, raga in Samagana. It has been mentioned that there are 5 parts in Samagana: Hinkara, Prastava, Udgita, Pratihara, Nidhana. Dravapada, a part of music of later centuries, incorporated the concept of including all 5 elements in the song with different names. These were the 5 names that we found. These constitute raga, alapa, sthai or udgraha, antara, sanchari and abhoga. Grama in Samagana. Swara Shruti Murchanatana Jati Raganam Vyavasthapanatva Nama Prayojanam. There is an important word in Samagana having 2 meanings. One is Samuha, collective, and the second is conventional, which is traditional. Grama is generally defined as a scale. It can be termed as a fundamental scale and basis for all. Matanga describes and clarifies this in Brihaddeshi treatise, which I have just told you. So, Matanga describes the grama in the following manner. References of grama. Sharngadeva defined grama in Sangeeta Ratnakara with the following verses. Rimayoho Shrutim Gandharaschet Samashrutaha Pashrutim Gho Nishadastu Ghashrutim Sashrutihi Shrutaha Gandhara Grama Chashta Tada Tam Narado Munihi Pravartate Swargaloke Gramo Sau Namahitale. Importance of Vedas and relation to Bharata Muni. How is this? Bharata Muni and his great work called Natya Shastra, in that, while declaring the primal importance of Veda for the creation of his Natya Shastra, he quotes these following verses. Jagraha Pathyam Rigvedat Samabhyo Geetamevacha Yajurvedat Abhinayan Rasan Adhvaranadapi. So he tries to quote each and every Veda and what you can take from that Veda. So this is mentioned in these verses in Natya Shastra of Bharata Muni. With this, we come to the end of musical references in Vedas and the Veda Bhagas, the parts of Vedas. We have seen what Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda and Atharva Veda had to talk about different musical instruments, musical references, musical concepts, musical technicalities, and different components of music is also explained in detail. So friends, I hope you all have enjoyed this module. Thank you. Namaste.